It's your boy Crypto Millie back with another one. Now, before the Bears get too excited, because I know the Bears, they already ready to say, hey, this is a top, this is it, this is the end of the crypto bull run. I want to focus on a few things that I'm personally seeing on the charts and from a macro point of view. So if you like these type of videos, make sure that you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and keep your favorite crypto and door-to-door entrepreneur inside the algorithms. Now, if you've been following my crypto Twitter, right, my X account, you seen that I posted yesterday that we're pumping on Sunday. It's a good chance that we dump on Monday. I think one of the members of the panel, Crypto Princess, mentioned that as well. It's like, oh, well, if we're going into the weekend green, normally we see the Monday in that week open up as a correction. And as you can see here, pretty much confirmed Bitcoin is now at 115 after hanging around 120. Ethereum still showing a lot of strength here at 4.3K, which is important because we need ETH to hold 4K and start to print those confirmation candles and confirming, right, validating that ETH is starting a new trend to the upside. So as a bear, I'm not a bear, but to the bears out there, I wouldn't get too excited yet, but there is some levels of concern. And I think at the end of the day, you got two crowds here, right? You got crowd that feels like we're going to go higher. Altcoin season is, we're in a waiting room for altcoin season. We are in a super cycle. We are going higher. And then you got this crowd that's really, really bearish, that really feels like this is the top. We're near the top. This is the top. The macro is absolutely horrible. So there's two crowds here, right? It's going to be interesting, in my opinion. It's going to be a little bit interesting to see what actually plays out. I am not as bearish as a lot of people are, but I do accept the fact that this market is coming to the latter stages of this specific 4-year cycle. I know many would say, Millie, this didn't feel like a bull run. Is because we really never had an altcoin season. We had rallies, we had bubbles, and if you rotated, you probably made a good little bit of money this cycle. But if you didn't rotate, you're probably stuck hoping, wishing, and wondering when altcoin season will happen, right? So let's go over a few things. Link is really, really strong. They're saying chain link is the only cryptocurrency right now that Web2, that institutions that the normies actually use, right? Web2 uses, right? But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Anyway, Bitcoin 115K. You can see here. What we are specifically paying attention to is we're paying attention to if Bitcoin is going to cross this orange line. I talk about this orange line all the time. This is my orange line of death right here. So if Bitcoin does cross this orange line, it's a good chance that it is going to become a bit bearish, right? And then when you take into account that this was a little bit more extended than this area here, this could be potentially a sign that Bitcoin is losing its strength this cycle. So it's important to note that we could still have an altcoin season, but we need to understand that Bitcoin came from 15K to 120, and technically that is a Bitcoin bull run, guys. I can't explain it no other way, but it hasn't crossed the orange line yet, and we've seen it come down here a couple times. We wanted to hold, right? We wanted to hold because we know if it does cross the orange line, it can get a little ugly. That doesn't mean the bull market is over if it crosses the orange line. We had a cross here what's this, March 2025. A lot of people thought it was over. We bounced off the 50-day moving average, right? So as long as we can hold these moving averages, key moving averages, 21-day EMA first, 50-day moving average, and then the last boss, of course, would be the 200-day moving averages. Technically, we're still bullish, but if we do lose this orange line, things could get a little bit ugly for the Bitcoin price, and we could see a Bitcoin price back below 100K, maybe the 90K, 100K range, right? Taking a look at our script here, let's go to the script. We did get that sell signal, right? We got that sell signal here on July 28th. We got a sell signal here, right? But again, you just want to see a higher low here and just Bitcoin hold up 50 on the stock RSI. And again, you want to see BTC hold these moving averages. So yes, Bitcoin does correct. It does in some bull cycles have corrections up to 30%. So just don't get too, have too much anxiety about, a correction in Bitcoin. But also, kind of stay, well rounded to understand that these corrections do happen. Taking a look at Ethereum here, you can see that ETH is well above our orange line, showing a lot of strength, and I think that this correction is well needed because institutions, if ETH is truly as strong as these institutions are showing, when you look at the ETF inflows, then this dip should get bought up, right? I'm confident that this dip will get bought up, and if it gets bought up, then a lot of people are going to be in pain because there's a lot of bears that just don't believe that Ethereum is going to have its bull cycle, and I believe that ETH is going to have its bull cycle, right? I do believe also it's going to be short-lived. I'm not of the belief of a super cycle, right? But I do believe that Ethereum is due for a run to somewhere around 10K. I mean, man, Bitcoin went from 15K to 20K. Why can't ETH go from, 900 to 10K, right? 900 to 9K. It only makes sense in my head. I don't know. Chat, let me know inside the comments. ETH is a little bit overbought here, overextended, but we have not yet gotten our sell signal. And again, ETH is well above the ultimate RSI. So ETH is showing a lot of strength, and ETH continues to show the strength. Then there's a good chance that we could go higher, right? Love to see this, golden, bull cross, whatever you want to call it, looking at a cross right here for Ethereum. So ETH is looking a lot more stronger per se than Bitcoin, and that kind of coincides to what we are seeing on the ETH BTC chart. I did notice that stocks are still hanging around all-time highs and showing strength in the pre going on into starting the day, right? So you're probably wondering, like, why is, ETH is showing strength, the ETBC has broken out, but we still haven't seen our altcoins break out, Millie. And, at the end of the day, the final boss, right? And before actually getting to the final boss, it's important to note that the Bitcoin dominance is still here at 59%. We needed a below 57%. We needed below this line, and we really needed below 55% to confirm an altcoin season and not a fake out. The hopium here is that this is the third breakdown, and in the last cycle here we got two fake outs, then a third breakdown. So you can see we got a fake out here, we got a fake out here, and then we finally broke down as far as the Bitcoin dominance, right? This is the first fake out. This is the second fake out. Is this going to be the fake out? Is this going to be the confirmed breakdown of the Bitcoin dominance? We really need to see Bitcoin dominance below 55%, right? In confirming confirmation candles below 55%. Now, why is the cryptocurrency market and altcoins showing so lack of strength, right? Well, the whole thing is the PPI data came out, and now we have a 84% chance of a Fed cut and a 15% chance of no change. So this is slowly rising. We'll be able to get more information coming up here with the Fed minutes, which is August 20th. This is in 2 days. This is huge, right? Jay Powell's either going to be hawkish or dovish. And then on the 22nd, we got the Jackson Hole, right? And this is the primary catalyst, right? If Powell is dovish, Bitcoin is probably going to reclaim 120K and look to break those all-time highs. If Powell is hawkish, we could go into a deeper correction. So again, altcoin season will not happen unless we get some type of clarity on what the Fed plans on doing about these rate cuts. In fact, you can go look in history, right? As long as we're above 4.25%, this Fed policy is going to be hard to see altcoins really thrive. Altcoins are risk on assets, right? They're not Bitcoin. They're not like deflationary assets where people look at it as a hedge against inflation. Altcoins are like gambling casino, putting your money into chips on the table and you're trying to win it all, right? So it's very speculative, and most importantly is very volatile, right? So what we are looking for, of course, we do got PMI data coming out on the 21st. What we're looking for is we're looking for Powell to be dovish and the data to be soft, right? If that happens, the trend will continue. Altcoin season could accelerate, and you'll look to see the market price in 3 federal rate cuts. I think JP Morgan is assuming that they will, but every time they come out and say something, it seems like the market does the opposite, right? Bearish scenario, right, which is a 35% probability, by the way. The bullish scenario was a 40%. The bearish scenario here is if Powell is hawkish, which he normally is, and the data comes out hot. That's a double whammy right there. We can now look at Bitcoin retesting anywhere between 100 and 110K, and ETH breaking back down below 4K, which if that happens, altcoins will bleed, altcoins will struggle, and a lot of FUD will return to the market. A lot of negativity and toxicity will return to the market because everybody's going to say this is the top, this is it, altcoin season never happened. And then we got the base case, which is the 25% probability where we just go sideways, right? Bitcoin ranges between 114 and 120 for weeks, drives a couple people out. ETH ranges as well, selective altcoin strength, building though for a Q4 move. So accumulation going into Q4. Key monitors to watch is the ETF flows, which we'll see Ethereum has been dominating. Want to see Bitcoin dominance get below 55%. Continue to see growth and strength from the stablecoin market, and leverage getting washed out, whether that be shorts or longs. And I did create here a altcoin season outlook, which I've already shared these research reports inside the Patreon. So if you're interested in getting these full reports, join the Patreon. Anyway, altcoin season outlook Q4, right? The final boss, of course, is the Fed. The Fed fund rate at 4.25 remains restrictive. Fed watches an 83% chance of September cut, but true altcoin season requires a sustained easing cycle. Current policy still suppress risk appetite for speculative assets like altcoins. You can go check out the XRT and see, like, people have liquidity, people have capital, but we got to ask ourselves, is retail going to risk putting their hard-earned money into crypto, right? Because the whole Trump situation, when Trump dropped the coin, a lot of people got burnt. A lot of people came in crypto expecting that to kind of start off the altcoin season. It didn't happen. A lot of people got burnt. So, of course, many will wait until the altcoin season thresholds hit 75. But the thing is, you're taking a chance now. Do you believe that crypto is about to become adopted and utilized every day? I think it happens, right? I think in the next few years, you're going to see crypto, and it's already happening, right? You can literally go spend your crypto in stores and shit if you got the right cards, but it's going to be a lot more common, right? I think it's going to be a lot more common. I think you're going to see a lot more people using crypto opposed to cash and the US dollar. I think it's going to be a lot more common, and if it becomes a lot more common, I think that we're kind of short selling ourselves to believe that with everything that's been happening as far as adoption, crypto laws, and just us moving into that direction, to kind of sell ourselves short to thinking like, oh, this is it, right? And it is a chance that it's it. But I don't know, man. I just think that we got something explosive coming because everybody feels like this is the end. It's too many. It's like too many people that feel that way. And from what I've seen personally, my personal opinion, usually crypto does the opposite. I mean, let me know how you feel about the economy right now in the comments. Would love to know you guys' opinions. The July ISM manufacturing PMI dropped to 48 versus 49. Manufacturing contraction strengthens case for Fed cuts, but adds recession risk. So again, we want to see the PMI above 50, right? Above 50. Because usually that's a good number for risk on assets to do well. ISM readings below 50 indicate manufacturing contraction. This is the 5th consecutive months of contraction with readings averaging 49.7 before. So at the end of the day, we just not around that area where risk on assets can really breathe and thrive. We're just not there yet. Could we get there? Yes. Is it happening now? No. Are we in a waiting room? Yes. We're right there. We're right there, chat. And we can get rejected. And this could be all over, right? But we are right there. The silver lining is weak data strengthens case for Fed rate cuts, but adds recession risk that could delay an altcoin season, right? And then we got the final boss, which is the Federal Reserve policy. These are some of the altcoin season indicators that I am following and will keep you guys in the know. Bitcoin dominance, the altcoin season index, ETH dominance, and the ETH BTC, ETH 24-hour versus BTC. Again, altcoin season index. If you're going to bet on altcoin season happening, this is the time. Not financial advice. You don't wait till altcoin season hits the index, hits 75. That means we're well into altcoin season, and it's going to be a lot more harder to find opportunities. If you're going to bet This is the time to make that decision. If you don't think altcoin season is going to happen, don't fucking bet. Simple. If you believe that it's going to happen and you have extra liquidity and you know you're willing, and you know it's a risk, you got to make that decision. It's up to you. Bitcoin dominance has declined, signaling early capital rotation. However, we need BTC to drop below, Bitcoin dominance to drop below 55% and altcoin season index above 75 for full altcoin season confirmation, right? These are some of the risk factors like the monetary policy constraints, which have been limited easing. The balance sheet being reduced is not helping the cause, and altcoins need abundant liquidity to actually perform, right? So you feel free to pause this. Like I said, I've already shared this research report inside the Patreon. I just got another altcoin season signal update today, so we'll keep you posted on that. And this is the probability timeline for altcoin season. So many people that think this is going to happen between August and September, I think it's a 10-20%. August and September is normally bearish, right? So people are already getting prepared for a bearish September. With that being said, I just said that sometimes when people start preparing early, the market does the opposite. So just keep that in mind. You just gotta keep a clear mind. Q4 will be a critical period. If the Fed delivers second cut, liquidity conditions improve, historical Q4 strength, easier policy could be an altcoin season catalyst. And then you got the delayed altcoin season, and the historic cycle, the 4-year cycle is done. Q1 could be explosive. Peak altcoin season if Fed continues easing cycle below 4%. Abundant liquidity typically drives parabolic altcoins. So when they bring down these rate cuts, people can go get money from the banks a lot more easier. People can qualify for things, right? The credit, all this stuff is sliced, right? And now people got a little bit more liquidity to move money into maybe investing, if that's what they want to do. And then there's a 30% chance that there is no true altcoin season this cycle, right? If the Fed pause cuts due to inflation concerns or economic resilience, policy remains restrictive through 2026, altcoins remain suppressed without liquidity. There's a 30% chance that we won't even have a fucking altcoin season. So just keep that in mind, right? I want it to happen. And again, I've shared this entire report inside the Patreon. So again, yeah, if that's something you want to see and check out, you can check it out. Anyway, that's what we're looking at. We'll continue to monitor for the final boss. And yeah, anything that I see specifically, I will keep you guys in the know. We'll just have to look at the Fed minutes and the Jackson Hole, right? Fed minutes and Jackson Hole is going to tell us more information, as Powell would say. Look at the data, and then we can make better decisions based on whatever thing. But like at the end of the day, like 2, 3, 4 years from now, like think about this. And I seen this from one of CM Kid's video, one of the guys that's in the Tau ecosystem, and he made a very, very important point. He said just last year, crypto was the fastest growing asset of all time. Fastest growing asset of all time. Just this year, artificial intelligence broke that record. AI is now the fastest growing asset of all time. So you got crypto and AI, both the fastest growing assets of all time. Right? You mean to tell me that this is all we did this cycle and that's it? It's hard for me to believe that, but if that's it, it is what it is. Anyway, I'm not bullish. I'm not bearish. I'm actually bullish, to be honest. I'm not bearish for sure. I'm actually leaning towards being bullish, but I have understanding of where we could possibly be at this cycle. So don't take this video as a bullish or a bearish video. We just looking at the data, monitoring the data, and I'm regurgitating what I'm seeing from the data in a way people can understand. So like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and keep your favorite crypto and daughter entrepreneur inside the algorithm. See you on the next one.